Hey guys, welcome back to Zack Going Fire. I have a special presentation for you today. Recently, I made a presentation to my local fire or FI group, and I went over my case study, going over my numbers, mine and Mindy's numbers, and Mindy filmed it. So I'm going to try and present it to you now with as little editing as possible. I do apologize about the background noise, and at the end, there are some people asking some questions, and I did my best to answer those questions. Let me know if you are able to hear me okay.
Okay, we're ready. Yeah. Ready to begin. Thumbs up.
Thank
you. So this is the FI case study for Mindy and myself. We're going to be doing barista FI starting next year, and we'll be doing geo arbitrage, which is kind of a new term for me. I only learned about it like a year or two ago, but I don't think of it as geo arbitrage so much as just slow traveling around the world. So we'll be talking about our story. We'll be going through our timeline, and I will definitely show all the numbers. I have a YouTube channel which I'll be sharing with, and so I will post this video on the YouTube channel, so feel free to take pictures or share it with anybody. I'm completely transparent on my YouTube channel. I am nervous presenting. I haven't presented in front of people since I was in high school, like more than decades ago. So let's get into it. So I'm 44, Mindy's 45. We met in 2010, and we had both been previously married. We got married in 2013, and that is a picture of us in the bottom right when we got married. And we worked for Domino's Pizza. She actually trained me to be a manager, and we both worked as managers for sister restaurants and Domino's Pizza for several years. We have no dependents. Mindy has 3 daughters from her previous marriage. We worked as truck drivers since 2015, and I still currently work as a truck driver. Mindy is now retired. She works as a travel agent part-time, and I'll be her assistant starting next year when I retire. We enjoy playing chess, board games, and video games. We're looking forward to the upcoming FI weekend at the lake.
Oh yeah, you guys are going too.
Yeah, we're going to that.
There's a lot of us.
So I used to enjoy camping. We haven't camped in a long time, but we enjoy sitting around the fire. And we definitely love to travel. So in the top right, that's a picture of our latest adventure when we went to Alaska. That was definitely something we wanted to check off the bucket list. So Mindy has this channel. You can get a QR code here if you want to see her channel. She's been doing this channel for like three years now. And she talks about all of our traveling around the world. And then my channel is about our finances. So this is Mindy's business card. And my channel is Zack Going Fire. I started just a couple months ago to kind of share the journey we're going to go through. So our timeline. Back in 2010, I became a financial advisor. I really wanted to help people. When I finished school in 2004, I had a business degree, but I didn't have any experience managing people. So I went to work for Citibank, and I did customer service with credit cards. And every day I spoke with people who were in trouble with their credit cards, and I wanted to help them. So I eventually hated the corporate world so much, and I hated working with credit cards on the other end of it, trying to convince people to spend more money rather than save money. So I became a financial advisor. I only worked as that for about a year because I cannot sell anything. If you were freezing to death, I couldn't sell you a coat. I would just give it to you. We didn't always have the best practices with our finances, and like I said, we worked as managers at Domino's Pizza, but we bought new cars we couldn't afford, we bought a house we couldn't afford at the beach, And we dropped down from being managers. We went back into being just delivery drivers for Domino's. We thought we could just do that part-time, and we were just living basically paycheck to paycheck for several years, and we had student loans, and we basically in 2016 we filed bankruptcy. I'll show you the income numbers on the next slide. But that was a very tough time, 2016. We couldn't pay the bills anymore. We sold everything. We decided to go truck driving. Mindy taught me how to drive a truck. She had her CDL before I met her. And we followed Dave Ramsey's baby steps when we sold everything. I mean, literally everything. We sold our house. And my mom let us keep some of our things in her place, but we lived in the truck as a team truck driver for the next several years. We finally became debt-free in 2018, and we saved up the 20% down payment toward the mortgage. And then, since then, we've basically been trying to retire early. We've had that goal in mind for many years. In 2020, we got what I would call our dream job. We worked as a team driving back and forth between here and North Carolina. And Mindy wanted to live near Disney, so she convinced me to move from North Carolina, where I'm from. My family's up there.
Oh, you're missing the best part. Tell them what I did every single day we crossed the Florida line. I asked you, wouldn't it be great to live on this side of this run every day for a year, guys? No joke.
I told her if the boss would allow it, then we could do it. So she got on the phone with the boss, and they allowed it. So we flipped down here to live here, and we did the run in reverse order for the next 3 years. And we would have continued that job. We were making good money doing that until we had enough money to not work at all and retire. And that was our plan, basically, to retire here. And we were several years away from that, but that run got cut out from under us. They no longer allowed that run going back empty, whereas originally we were going back empty to North Carolina. So we lost that job, and I took just a local driving job. I was pretty depressed for a couple of years in 2023, 2024, and basically I knew I couldn't keep working. I was working as like an Uber driver and delivering local for Colony Hardware. Now I make more money now, delivering for McLean. But basically what we decided to do was to continue to work as a travel agent and do geo arbitrage. And between that and our investing, that's what's going to allow us to retire next year. So last year, our combined income was $112,000. We have no debts. We did take out a small margin loan of $3,000. We just took that out a couple months ago after I read the book, Be Smart and Pay Zero Taxes. And I feel like taking out that margin loan is like, it's like exercising a muscle. So I think, credit card debt and consumer debt, there's bad debt, there's good debt. That's where I disagree with Dave Ramsey a little bit on, is I think that, some debt is good. And the margin loan is there just so that when the market does tank, we can be used to having it, that margin loan. We can extend that and go more aggressive with our investing. But over the years, we've always maxed out our Roth IRAs. We've gone up to at least the company match in the 401ks, and we contribute to the HSAs. This is the last 20 years of our income. And I got this directly from the IRS website, because I didn't keep track of it over the last 20 years, but I put it into a spreadsheet here. And I highlighted 2016, and you can see how low money we were making then. We had some medical emergencies, and we just were not able to pay the bills with that. So we went bankrupt, and then we went over the road truck driving afterwards, and we're able to increase our income. So here's the budget sheet. It's not nearly as nice and organized as some of the other people in the room here. You guys intimidate me because I know everyone in here is interested in money. Everyone in here knows about how to save and invest. And, you know, everybody has their own personal budget. Everybody does it a little bit differently. I'm no exception. We do our budget instead of monthly, we do it weekly. So we went the opposite direction of you. You do it yearly, we do ours weekly. And I like that because every month is different. And that would always drive me crazy when you have something that's due in 6 months and something that's due quarterly, like your oil changes and things like that. So I just took every expense that I could think of and I broke it down into how much does that cost a week. And so we have sinking funds. So here, the utilities number, $135. That's all of these in blue and the orange. That goes to meet like our regular expenses. We have personal expenses of $50 a week, gas and food, $250 a week. For our apartment, it's $579 a week, and that's broken down over here. The total monthly we pay is $2,500, $2,490. So everything is color coded for a reason. Obviously, these numbers. Can you see them now? Yeah. These numbers here are not part of it now because these are numbers that we will be adding in next year when we do the geo arbitrage. We're not paying for like the mail service now. We're not paying $100 a week for transportation now. We plan on paying for that next year when we're traveling around the world. And the purple numbers down here are the new numbers that we picked up as being a travel agent. The agent host KHM is the travel agency Mindy works under. And then down at the bottom, so this is the key thing with the 4% rule. Basically, you're looking at the FI number of 1.9 million, basically. That's the number that we would have needed had we stayed here and not wanted to work at all, because that meets our current expenses times 25. With the post-FI number that you see here, the 1.6 million, that's what we would need after we cut out a lot of the things that we would no longer need in retirement, like the contributions to the retirement accounts. So then with the lower rent, what I'm doing with this number is basically looking at, instead of paying $2,500 a month to live here, we're hoping to pay about $1,500 a month to live abroad. And then with income goal of $26,000 a year, that brings what our real FI number will be next year to just $700,000. So we're right now somewhere in between the real FI goal of $700,000. We've already met that, so we could technically go now, but we're not at the not have to work at all. This is the net worth tracker from Empower as of October 20th. Just over $1 million. So we just broke over that just a couple months ago. So that was a pretty big number to be excited about for us. And this is how our investments and our money is broken down. Most of our money, 74% of it, is in Roth IRAs. So for most of it, we don't have to worry about taxes. We do have to worry about taking out the gains of that before we're 59.5. And so we're trying to look at, how much we can. That's why recently we've been putting more money into our taxable brokerage account, where we currently have $160,000, or about 15% of our money in that. And we don't have to worry about the 10% penalty taking out of that. I can come back to these slides if anybody has any questions on them. I'm just trying to get through it.
You're doing good. You have 4 left. 5. Oh, I have it here, so I'm following along.
So this is how
You're doing
our
great.
investments are broken down along the accounts. And I'm putting our vehicles as part of our overall money because when we go to live abroad next year, we plan on selling both of our vehicles. So that money will get merged into the rest of it at that point. But basically, you can see about 25% in bonds currently. Now, before this year, we did have much less as a percentage of our money in bonds, but we're in the process of becoming more conservative as we get closer to withdrawing the money. This is the net worth where I've tracked over the last 5 years. And this was updated as of the beginning of this month. Each of those dots are the first of the month. I've been updating our net worth on the first of the month for years.
Is that using Empower? Or is that a different?
That is using Wealth Plus app, which I have that on the slide at the end. So I use, because I've been studying finances for many years, I've used almost every tool out there. Every time I hear about a new tool, I have to go play with it. And it's always interesting to me how the different tools will give you different answers. Some are more optimistic, some are more pessimistic. So the way I look at it is that it is good to have other viewpoints and use the different tools because it might be somewhere in the middle where the truth actually falls. So I used this tool and plugged it in, and this is from engagingdata.com. And with our numbers, this shows that I could have actually retired 4 years ago at 39, but at the time we weren't planning on doing the geo arbitrage and working as travel agents. This is from Projection Lab, which is one of my favorite tools for our planning purposes. Projection Labs, it does have a free version, but we use the paid version only because it allows us to save the data. I can log in from different devices and see the information saved. And I like to run the Monte Carlo simulation, but I also like to run it, and it allows you to run it in several different ways so that you can get different outcomes. And this runs 1,940 trials, and it shows with our current information and our expenses and the income that we're looking at coming, is that we have a pretty good chance of success. And I would be okay with it even being a lower chance of success, like even if it was saying that we only had about a 70% chance, because we are flexible. And I think that's one of the key things, is if you're flexible, if you're willing to change when the market drops, then you can be successful no matter what.
I would add to that we're also not trying to leave any kind of inheritance behind.
Yeah, that's definitely a big one. We believe in leaving nothing behind. We hope to die with zero or as close as possible. So because we love to travel so much, we love to go on cruises. We're not extravagant, but we definitely want to do everything out there that's available. So these are some of the resources that we use. I use Jason Kelly for my investing. I've been following him for years. He wrote the book, The 3% Signal. He offers 3 different growth plans. They are very good about allowing you to, if you don't want to look at charts, you don't want to spend a lot of time researching what to invest in, it's very diversified. I'm just sharing this with you. I don't get anything if you go and look at his website or anything, but he has a letter service that he offers. It's about $1,000 a year, but you could always look at what his plan shows and then cancel it if you don't like it, because he is very open and all of his plans are mathematical. They're not subjective. So I use the Wealth Plus app for my net worth tracking on my phone, and we use Empower for all of our performance tracking and to help us kind of project what we're going to have in the future. So So basically, what we need from you is we really need a good CPA. So if anybody knows a good CPA, and I know there's some in the room, so we definitely need to talk. And basically, is there anything that we're missing, or is there any slides that you would like me to go back to?
I didn't see what you plan to do about health insurance in retirement. I know you have HSAs. Are you planning to be outside the United States like 95% of the time, and then you'll have international policy?
That's a great question. We do plan on being outside the U.S. most of the time. Maybe 1 to 2 months a year, we plan on returning to visit family. We have looked at services like Safety Wing, and we plan on paying mostly out of pocket for medical expenses and just having Safety Wing in case of a major emergency. If you haven't heard of Safety Wing, I think they offer coverage for us. We looked at it, I think it's around $100 a month, and that's when I have that considered here at 43. I calculated the health insurance at $43. It is based on age.
Is that worldwide or just for the United States, that insurance?
Just outside the
Outside of the United States.
Oh, it doesn't.
So if we get hurt here, we're not going to a doctor.
They do have a plan that
You can
covers
add it.
in the US, it's just a lot more expensive.
Yeah. So yeah, we looked at it as $43 a week is what would cover us with the Safety Wing outside of the United States.
I feel like you went from bankruptcy to building your net worth really quickly. And in that time, you also bought a home, sold a home. It just seemed that it climbed really quickly.
For fairness, we lived in a truck
That's what-
for
okay,
2
so
years
you
with
spent that money.
no living
And you
expenses.
spent also $200,000 in debt even after you claimed bankruptcy. Is that what I'm reading?
Yes. So in 2016, even after the things that we were able to write off in the bankruptcy, we still had $200,000 in debt. A lot of that was our cars and our house. So we sold that.
And medical.
That brought it down to $120,000 in debt. We lived in the company truck, full-time, traveling around the United States. So we had originally thought that it might be nice to live in an RV and travel around, but we kind of did that in the truck.
Exactly. You've already lived that life.
Yeah, so it was like camping in an RV around the
You
country.
guys must really like each other.
We do.
That's gotta be rough. I don't think I would've made it.
Yeah, it was rough in the beginning. We had some arguments, but yeah, we're very close. We love each other.
And then I saw income ETF. Is that one income ETF or is it diversified in many different income ETFs?
I use several different income ETFs, and I didn't want to go into specifics of that because I don't want to give anybody the idea that I'm trying to tell you specifically
Not our
what
financial
investment to buy. Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of popular ones like QILD.
Okay,
There's
so
a lot
what
of-
we called income.
Yeah, there's a lot of new ones in the last few years. That,
QQQI, SPY-I.
Yeah, so it seems like every month there's a few new ones out there, and I always look into them just because I'm a nerd like that. Any other questions?
I have a question maybe for Mindy, but how old are your kids?
The youngest one is 17, the other two mid-20s.
Yeah, I was wondering that too. So where were they when you guys were traveling?
With their dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, within
Yeah,
the-
they're daddy's girls.
And I will go back real quick to Jason Kelly's plans. I was saying that he has the 3 growth plans, and we were in the 3 growth plans. The book, the 3% signal, that you can do inside of a regular 401k. The other 2 plans, the 6% and 9% signals, they use leveraged ETFs, so those cannot be done inside of a 401k, but you can do those in an IRA and an HSA. And just in the last couple of years, he has come up with a new plan called the Income SIG plan. And that's what we're transitioning to. We're going away. So we're currently in the middle of that process now. At the beginning of the year, we were all in the growth plans. Now we're slowly transitioning away. I don't want to rip it off like a Band-Aid. I'm trying to just move into the, and so we use the 4% rule guideline, but I think with following his plans, we will probably be able to pull more than 4% out a year, especially because we're planning on dying with zero or close to it as possible.
Bengen's got a new book out, came out in January,
Right.
I'm halfway through it.
4.7%, 5%,
Round it up to 5,
6%.
yeah.
And I'm thinking that we can probably pull out 7 or 8%, depending on how the market goes, of course. But
What mostly part of the world you guys are staying?
well, that's a great question. So first, we've already booked our first trip to leave the country.
Oh, that's exciting.
So it's November of next year. We plan on retiring. I plan on retiring probably in June or July. That's just because that's when our lease at our apartment is up. So at that point, we'll start our travel around the country, and our Prius will sell her car and basically get rid of all of our furniture. We're going to go visit family for the next several months between like June to November of next year. We get on a cruise ship in Los Angeles. We arrive in Tokyo December 12th, 2026. We'll spend 3 months there, and then from there, we haven't decided yet for sure, but probably Taiwan or South Korea.
So that's a 30,000, how much your budget? Does it change, right, when you, especially when you move to Europe, it's gonna be more expensive than Asia. So are you guys planning to like, adjust your budget?
These numbers here actually include the projections for how much it will cost us to slow travel around the world. Basically, $54,000 a year is our budget. That includes the accommodations, which we're looking at averaging $1,500 a month for accommodations.
And that'll cover you. I mean, the arbitrage is you go someplace really inexpensive and then you can afford to go to the really nice places for a shorter period of time and then drop back down.
We've looked at doing the house sitting where we can stay for a month or two when someone is wanting to travel the world themselves. They might have a nice house that we can pet sit for them and stay in a nice home for a month or two, basically for free to watch their pets.
Yeah.
Then when they come back and we go to a nice hotel for a month or two.
And Stephanie and Travis are currently doing that, so if you don't know them, I can make sure you're in their group.
Yeah. And Mindy, if you're interested, you may want to be in WE.
Yes. Oh, yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, because Stephanie, who Allison just mentioned, she did a presentation at the last monthly call, and it's all virtual. And like Stephanie and Travis were on the beach in Australia doing the presentation.
Nice.
House sitting.
Yeah, trusted house sitter. Yeah.
I just want to add, if you have any questions, I can still do the house sitting platform. So if you want to come back to Florida,
Okay.
I get house sitters when I leave. So.
Okay. All right. Might as well use someone you know, right?
What's the primary impetus for the travel gig, the travel agency gig? Is it for income? Is it for the discounts you guys are going to get? Or
both.
I'm curious to learn more about the discounts and how compelling that is.
We wouldn't be able to retire next year if we weren't counting on some income. So with our budget traveling around $54,000 a year, the FI number on that at 25 times is 1.3 million. We're not there yet. So, but with the income of earning 26,000 a year, we're there. So we want to go ahead and do it. We're tired of our jobs.
We're going to start having fun.
Are you going to use, like, I was looking into this since I'm gonna be giving up everything, like the services, I guess, that could give you an address or mail service, and scan your mail and then you can fill them. Are you gonna be using something like that? Yeah,
We are.
that's the mail service
Do you know
357.
the name of the one you're gonna be using?
For sure, no, but the one I've looked into is some, the ones that, probably use one of the more popular ones like escapees, RV escapees.
Yeah, and the other one, so the only thing about escaping, so we use because we're full-time RVers, we use the mail service. And escapees, the only downside of that is that you get a Florida address, but the actual mail goes to Texas before they scan it for you. And then when they ship it to you, wherever you want to be, they're shipping it from Texas, not from Florida. And so it can add 2 to 3 weeks if you're concerned about how quickly you're able to know what's in your mail. So there's a competitor that is Florida only, and it's called St. Brennan's Isle. And it's in Green Cove Springs, Florida. And the prices are actually a little more reasonable. And we've used it for a number of years and love it. And you can, when you're not traveling, you can lower your level of service so that they're not scanning everything for you. And then when you go on travel, you just call them and say, we want to go up to the next level. And so they'll hold your mail for as long as 60 days without an extra charge for you, unless you get a big box from them.
And do you do taxes for people who leave the country? Do you do it all the time?
No. Well, I defer to Chris on that and say, please stay out of the country. What is it? 355 days?
Yeah, 335, and then did you qualify for the foreign earned income credit? As long as you're out of the country 330 days out of 365, and you can come back. You can make all the money you want, foreign money, and not have to pay taxes because of the foreign earned income credit. And I only know that because I spent 6 years in Afghanistan, a year in Iraq, and half a year in or a year in Africa as well. But
If you're getting paid from the United States.
you get paid from the United States, but it's still becoming tax free. So you can I was able to use the foreign earned income credit because I was physically living in a different country while making wages in the U.S. And the credit is 100,000 U.S. So that becomes a write-off, and then if you made 130, then you got to pay taxes on 30. Usually at the higher tax bracket.
And the only other thing I know is that you get until June 15th to file your taxes. So the April 15th.
I had a question on, I think it's the next slide, the bond slide, the yellow one. I'm just curious what kind of bonds you have. Like a little inflation bond, treasury bond.
I was curious about that too. So
Yeah.
I don't hold a lot.
You bought a
of
lot,
bonds.
and I'm like, what did you buy? Did you diversify? Did you get municipal bonds?
All right, so most of our bonds are just in B and D.
Okay, so an
which
index fund.
It's an index, it's an ETF that it's just a general bond fund. But I didn't want to try to pick which were the right bonds to buy this year and which ones would be the right ones to buy next year.
And I didn't follow the bond market well this year, but it didn't seem like it was doing well.
It's better than it did in 2022. 2022, the whole market was down, stocks, bonds, everything.
All right, other questions? On your last slide, you didn't have any specific questions.
Just that we need a CPA.
Right.
And any feedback is good feedback.
Yeah, and so we gave you some geo arbitrage resources. I just sent them to Mindy, so she had the one that Penny mentioned. I think your numbers look fine. Like, I know that Sam had like a beautiful spreadsheet that accountants love, but I think everyone can agree that Zach's numbers looked good. He did very good.
Yeah.
Right?